Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fuller Broadcast 24/7 Sports News Exposed to. We're going to have Fred Pierce on my show. I'd like to thank you for all sponsors that have been sponsoring my show: JB Handy Service Pro Services LLC, D&D Bates, and also Quit Bitchin'. So you go to quitbitchin.com. You go www.quitbitchin.com. They got shirts, sandals, everything, even hats. It says Quit Bitchin'. It's a great brand. Don't be afraid to wear it because everybody will be saying shh. All right. The passcode to win prizes is fish baits. Fish baits. All right. Let's get Fred Pierce on here. How's your day going, bro?
So far, so good, man. Doing some gym stuff, but still at it. Hopefully, after this, I'm gonna go work out. today's my
Yeah,
today's my training day.
I can't wait to get Fred on here, man. Everybody's waiting for him to get interviewed.
Nice, nice.
He must be a real cool guy. So
Hey, well, yeah,
I noticed all these call outs, like with Travis Thompson and hang on, I think he. He's having problems getting on. Hang on for a second. All right, so with while we're waiting for him, so with Rick, how well you think this matchup's going to be with Travis?
oh man, it sounds like it's gonna be fire. I think, like he said, I think before the bell rings, it's gonna be fire. You know what I'm saying? So it should be one to look up to.
So yeah, that's like what Travis was talking. It was like he'll take on anybody. It doesn't matter, and
Right,
like Rick said, he take on anybody. He gets in that ring, once they say knuckle up, he's ready to go.
right, right. No, he sound like he's ready. He sound like he learned from the last fight. He switched his training, he switched his mentality. Now he knows what to expect in that ring, and I think he's gonna bring it.
I think it's going to be a real good matchup. I
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah,
but I think this one could go uh, all rounds.
right,
It's going to be a real good fight. I think it's going to go all the way to the bell.
right.
So
Who
we'll,
who,
we'll
who you
see.
think who you think has the leverage on punching power?
Uh, I
Travis
would say
or
I would say Travis, but
right?
Rick has got the speed, but
He
Travis,
has
I've seen him with more power. He's got a lot of
right,
power punches. But Rick, I think I don't know. It's hard to say. These two right here,
right,
it, it's give and take, but I think it could go either way. Somebody make a mistake, like I
yeah,
tell people, he can make a mistake. That's
right.
it.
Hey,
So that's probably what you're going to see us that mistake.
yeah, you know what they say, speed kills. So I mean, not because you have the power doesn't mean you cannot get caught and get knocked out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Fred Pierce, you there, bro? All right, there he is, right there. I'm gonna bring him in.
Uh, there he is.
There he is. What's up, Fred? How you doing?
Hey,
Hey, what's up? What's up, buddy?
how's it going, gentlemen?
Doing
All
How's
good.
it
good, man.
going,
All
sir?
good.
Doing all right. Doing all right.
So, give
Been
us
watching
a
the show, seeing you talking to Slick Rick.
yeah.
Yeah, just got
Yeah,
off.
that's what I was gonna say when I first came out, Slick
Yeah,
Rick.
good show, man. Good show.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
thank you.
Yeah.
thank you. We appreciate that. So, give us your background, a little bit of your background, where you first started and where it got you now.
I started out in the original Tough Man contest circuit. They used to have a regional Tough Man in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and Springdale and Tulsa. I used to go to those and compete. Went 18-3 as an amateur boxer after I got done fighting in the Tough Man. Mostly just a lot of local boxing matches and stuff and smokers. Then in the early 2000s, I went pro in MMA and had an MMA career for a little bit. Then now that boxing's picking back up and bare knuckle, I was more than happy to get into that and swap back into the stand up and punchy world. So I kind of
Nice.
left all the rolling around and getting choked out to the younger guys.
Right. I hear you.
Age don't matter, man. Age don't matter.
Yeah, you're still young. You're still young.
Yeah, well, yeah, I still compete in MMA and train MMA. I just, since I started out with a boxing background and that's where I came from, I was just more than happy to get to compete at a professional level especially for the BKFC and at that level. But I'm ready to get some pro boxing matches in as well. With with or without gloves.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So but besides the MMA, because I know it's tough MMA, but so you feel better with the boxing?
Yeah, I like to stand up more. That's my first love.
Mm-hmm.
I was in boxing for 7 years before I started my MMA career. So that was always my base, and I love MMA, and I love the training part of it and everything. It's just a lot of times when I'm in an MMA fight and I'm getting the best of a guy with the stand up, I get taken down and choked out, and that's happened to me
Yeah.
more than a few times. So, and, I just couldn't be, and then the bare knuckles coming out and it's, so popular right now. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
happy to be a part of that, as it's coming in, and
Nice.
So,
couldn't
Yeah,
be happy.
might as well capitalize, and hey, I mean, it's not such a big difference between regular boxing and bare knuckle. Just no gloves, big deal. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, why not?
Yes. Yeah. It just hurts a little more when you get punched, but
Yes.
that's it. Yeah.
so give us a detail of how your training's been going ever since virus hit the world and the looting that's been going on. Has it been affecting your training?
Well, I usually go out of state to train, and I was actually gonna, before the COVID and looting and stuff happened, I was gonna go down to Johnny Bedford's gym down there in Texas and visit his gym for a few weeks, and I was go down and visit Caleb Harris in Mississippi, and then end up with Dave Mundell and Jared Warren, and then with Jeff Bailey out in Florida. I was going to make kind of a traveling training circuit out of it, but with COVID happening, that shut all that down. So in rural Oklahoma, we haven't really noticed that much of a lot of people are wearing masks, but we're used to the businesses closing at 8 o'clock anyway. So that wasn't a big thing to us. And a lot of people practice social distancing but the only training I could really do was, swim at the lake, go jogging through the woods and lift weights at my house because all the gyms are closed. And, uh, that's been about the most, and hit the bag on the back porch, but that's about
Right.
all I've been able to. And now a lot of gyms are starting to open back up, so training's about to get serious. Time to drop some of these COVID pounds.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
All right, so you're training now. Do you are you ready to fight on June 26th if they got a matchup for you?
Now right now, as from what I've been told, they don't have anything for me for June 26th. I was going back and forth a little bit, thinking they might need me to fight, but it turns out now that it doesn't look like I'm going to be on the card for this June one. But yes, I'm ready to go at a moment's notice if they call me while I'm doing this show right now, the answer will be
Nice.
yes. I don't care what weight. I'll either eat or I'll stop eating to make the weight. When the BKFC calls, the answer is always yes, because I'm
Nice.
afraid that if I was to turn it down, I might not get a call back. Those guys
That's
want
right.
people that want to fight, and
That's right.
that's what I want to do. I want to fight, and I want to represent. So when Feldman or Nate Shook and them guys send a message, the answer is always yes.
Yeah, that happens. That happens in a lot of circuit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they expect somebody to answer that call. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause otherwise, and you say no, most likely they don't call you again because in their head it's like we can count on that guy.
Yeah, you can't count on that guy to come in and save you if you need him, and that's what
That's right.
I'm not a real big name in the fight world. I haven't been in the UFC or anything, but you know, I've got a good relationship with the places I've fought for because I've always fought hard, and if need be, I've fought on short notice, and because I know that's part of it, and I've done some matchmaking on shows before, and people back out quick, and you gotta put matches together, and I'm thankful for the relationships I've forged with people from being a game fighter and taking fights on short notice, and that's how
That's
that
exciting.
someone's got to
That,
do it. Somebody's got to
yeah,
fight.
no, yeah, no, that's exciting. That's what the promoters want. That's what the fans want. You know what I'm saying? It's not about just losing, but if they see you fight, you always bring it. They want that.
So,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
sorry, Fred. Got a couple questions from a couple of your fans, Eric and Julie, I think it is. So they want to know what weight
Yeah,
class
that's my
would you?
Instagram people.
Ah, nice.
What weight class would
They
I
want to
fight
know.
at?
Yeah, they want to know what weight class you prefer.
Um, Honest, I'd like to fight about 165 and 170. The 165, 168. Uh, it's kind of a rough cut for me, but I I'm in the best shape when I get down to that. When I'm a trim 168, 170, I'm in the best shape. Whenever I've been scheduled for like heavier fights and I haven't had to cut as much or work as hard to get within that, few pounds of being on weight, it seems like I'm just not quite as sharp.
Right.
Yeah.
So you
So
rather 168, 170, but not move up.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I've taken fights at 185, 190 before, but that's like my walk
Wow.
around weight, and it. I just feel a lot better if I get in there and because if you got to cut that 30 pounds, that 25
Yeah.
pounds, you got to get in there and you got to put the
Yeah.
work in.
That's
If you're
true.
gonna do it right, you got to put the work in, and that's
That's
all
right.
about your mindset. You know that going in, you be like, hey, I gotta be serious about cutting this weight. And I think
Right.
you can kind of be lazy if you don't have much of a weight cut.
Right.
So,
Right. That does that happen. You know what I'm saying? But
or
at the same time,
I can be lazy. I'm not saying for everybody, but I can be lazy.
right, right, yeah. No, but that's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Well, most guys, if they have to, cut weight, a couple of pounds, they don't feel like they have to train as hard. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you can cut 30, 25 pounds. It's like, you know what? I got to put the work in and make sure I don't miss it.
and I have a quick
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, it's automatically something in your mind that tells you, hey, it's going to be an easy cut, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that never works out for me.
Right.
So can you tell me about your two left shoes?
Uh, yes, yeah. Thank God for Boudreaux. Boudreaux came in with the clutch at the last BKFC and let me borrow his shoes to wear at the ring. It was about two sizes too small. because
Right.
I've got two pairs of boxing shoes that are almost identical, and I packed
Mm.
the left from each one of them, and I
Oh
showed up with
man.
two lefts boxing, and I didn't realize it till right before the show started,
That
and the
sucks, man.
commission was thinking the commission was saying, "Oh, you can't fight, with no shoes." And
Ah.
I told him, I said, "Hey, I'll fight with two left shoes if I have to." But Boudreaux came through in the clutch. Thank you, brother.
Right.
And I got to wear his shoes. He saved me.
That awesome story, man. That's funny.
Okay, so now that we know you're ready to fight, and I know you like punching a lot of faces. I've seen a couple of your videos. Um, Also at Bare Knuckle 8, I believe someone told us that you lost 12 pounds. You had to lose 12 pounds or something like that. Or you cut 12?
Yeah, yeah. Had to cut 12. You know, but I had Jonathan Balgam with me, and he was helping me with my weight cut, and it really wasn't it. I thought in my head, man, this is going to be hard to cut that 12 pounds, but I ended up cutting 13, cutting a pound more than
Wow.
I should have,
Oh,
and I didn't even realize it when I got on the scales. I cut a pound more than I thought than I had aimed to. So I felt strong. It wasn't a bad weight cut to where I was just withered and dehydrated. I was
Right.
just right where I needed to be.
who's cutting up a little? You still there? You're breaking up a little.
I'm still here.
All right. So I noticed
Can
you
you see
got a
me?
lot of fans. So
Yeah,
give us
I got a loyal following.
yeah. So give us on your first take when you switched to go to bare knuckle fighting. What was it like to get your face punch?
Um, it didn't have the flash of getting hit with the glove to where it's like the surface of it getting punched on a glove. You take it on a bigger spot of your face,
Right.
and it wasn't so much of a jarring hit. It was more of a cutting sharp pain right to the point of impact. That's the difference. I would say you feel the knuckle more, and a lot easier to cut the skin on a bare knuckle punch. And I noticed, like, when you're training for these bare knuckle fights with the big gloves and stuff, uh, it's a completely different. It's a more of a jarring blow
Right.
than the sharp contact of a bare knuckle. So, what I try to do a lot is use the karate gloves. They're not quite as heavy duty, thick as foam as the MMA gloves, and they've got open palm, and
Right.
we'll get out there and go about half speed and punch each other with those, and it's where it can knock you up pretty good, but it usually doesn't cut you.
That's smart because nothing can train you for bare knuckle. What I'm saying? And there's no way you're gonna spar bare knuckle either. So you gotta pick something close to
No,
that. So I guess doing the karate gloves, which they don't have a lot of padding either, and you can kind of feel it too. At the same time, not to worry so much about getting cut.
yeah, and you can go through a lot of the motions, and like even with your guard up on a karate glove,
Right.
if
Right.
that punch still gets through,
Still, yeah.
you kind of realize that, hey,
Hmm.
that punch would have got through in bare knuckle.
That's
So
right.
it's good for working your defense too, and letting you flow through the motions.
That's right, because with boxing glove it being so big, I mean, you could easily block it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not really the punch; it's the glove. You know what I'm saying? But if a
Yes.
karate glove, it's just as close to your hand as it can be. and if your defense not there, you could easily sneak in. So it really like, wait a minute, I gotta get my defense better.
Yes.
So,
Yes. And I tell you what, even if you're going 50%, it hurts getting punched by a grown
Hell
man
yeah,
with a karate glove.
hell yeah, of course.
So I mean, it's a it gives you enough of the sting to where to
Mm-hmm.
that head. You know.
No, I understand. I've been there.
so here's one question for you, sir. Do you think that 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 will win the belt?
Now I've got nothing but respect for Dat. I've fought on a couple of his shows. I fought on a couple of the shows that he's been on, but man, I'm gonna have to go with Johnny. Johnny Bedford. He's been a friend of mine. He's brought fighters up to fight on some of my amateur Muay Thai shows here in Oklahoma. He's always been a perfect gentleman, and the guy has a good training regimen,
Yep.
and he's just all around tough. I mean, if Dat beats Johnny, he'll have earned that belt, and my hat's off to him. But going in, my money's on Johnny. I can't bet against the guy.
Nice.
Yeah, Johnny is a real good fighter. I'm not going to pick anybody right now. I'm going to wait till that matchup comes, then I'm going to do my picks and see what you guys think about that. So, when you're fighting bare knuckle, who, when you get your eye cut up or whatever, your cut man, did you ever have Sheena Star as your cut person?
I had Sheena Starr actually as one of my corners at my last BKFC.
Wow,
My
that's
trainer
great.
and cornerman ended up not being at last second, could not make the fight. So Sheena and Scott Farley stepped in and worked my corner. Of course, I'd fought on BKFC 8 with Sheena, and me and my wife became friends with her. She's super cool in my book. Me and Sheena go eat sushi at all the shows, and it was. Hopefully I can have her again. It's good to have her with her fight knowledge to be in your corner, and her and Stitch Duran. They're Stitch has been my cut man in both my BKFC fights, and I tell you, it sure is reassuring knowing that Stitch says you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay because Stitch has seen it all.
Right. No, I mean, it's a big difference having somebody with some experience.
Yeah. Stitch is a great guy too. But yeah, as far as Sheena goes, y'all need to have her on the show. She's got a great personality and very quick wit. She can get you with the comeback very fast.
We gotta be alert. We gotta practice our defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be on your toes with Sheena. She'll make you
That's
blush.
So, everybody's losing connection now. So, give us a detail about no fans in the stands. What's your feeling on that? Do you like having fans in the stands to back you up when you're fighting, or do you? Because a lot of fighters are like they love to have that energy behind them, and it helps them build up, I guess, more anger or whatever you want to call it, and start fighting better, and more.
Well, I tell you what, any fighter out there, whether he's being booed or cheered when he walks to the ring as the hometown, or the guy that's brought in to lose to the hometown guy. If you're getting out there and you're fighting and you take a couple punches and you give a couple punches back and you're getting after it, and you hear the fans cheer, and the fans get up and start cheering and chanting you on. You hear the reaction of the crowd getting louder as y'all are fighting harder. You're a liar if you're telling me as a fighter that does not pump you up. I mean,
Hell yeah, it does.
that home field advantage. It makes a difference for a reason. And if you're getting out there and that's what I love about fight fans. You cannot be from their hometown, but if you get punched a couple times and you stay on your feet, and then you come back right at the guy just as hard, and you're having a war with the guy, they're going to cheer for both of you, and they're
That's
going to get
right.
up and they're going to be loud, and they're going to and if the fans are up and cheering and chanting you on, it's hard to push that adrenaline down, man. You're
Nope.
both going to just fight your heart out.
Correct.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I like to have the fans. I love to have the fans there cheering when it gets crazy. But when it comes down to it, I'm there to fight. If I'm going to get tunnel vision once they tell us to go, and we go after each other. Uh, I'm going to fight just as hard. And but
Yeah. It
like
makes
I
difference.
said, if I had my choice, I'd love to have the fans there.
Yeah, me too. I love having the fans, whether it's my hometown or not. There's something about when I'm in the locker and I'm still a little nervous, and then when they call my name and I'm walking to the crowd. Let me tell you something. I'm in heaven. And so all of a sudden, the nervousness goes out the window. It's like, okay, this is what I trained for. Let's give these people a show. I mean, it's like, wow, it's all worth it.
So
Yes, absolutely.
I have your I have your favorite fan here. She's going to try to pop in for a few minutes, and
Oh yeah.
and her name is Sheena. So she's going to try to download
Oh,
her app and see what she finds. So
Uh,
I hope I've been trying to get her on my show, but it's difficult because she's always busy. Like you said, she's an outgoing person. She's always busy. She's talking about this mob girl she's trying to fight. So give us your take on that. Can she beat the mob wife?
um, hey, I'm not a big trash talker. I don't want to put anybody down. That's doing their thing.
come on, Fred. Come on,
But
say it,
Trap,
say it.
but Trap, he brings a lot of stuff on himself, and I guess him and his woman and Sheena have something that goes pretty far back. But from what I understand, I don't think she's on Sheena's level. I think Sheena will beat her in a fight if they do happen to fight. Uh, I watched the girl box, and I know she does train, and she is a fighter. But there are levels to this game, and if I was her husband, or her trainer or whatever, I would let her have a few 4 or 5 warm up fights before I started calling up Sheena Star.
Mm.
It was kind
That's a good advice. That's a good advice. I mean, but like you said, it's a different level, and that's what makes it so exciting. The element of surprise. Anything could happen. Saying no matter whether you have a big
Yep.
background, you don't. When you get punched, bare knuckle, you don't know how people's gonna react.
well, I don't
That's
think she's going to be
absolutely
able to
right.
get
That's
on.
absolutely right. But I think Sheena would punch her up. I just think from what I've seen from both of them,
Right.
I think Sheena would very early in the fight would get to putting some punches together on her that would hurt the girl, and the girl hasn't seen that kind of competition yet. In in my opinion,
Right.
in her career. So I think it would be a bad night for her if her and Sheena were to fight. In my
No, it's,
opinion.
it's, it's like it's like Amanda Nunez in the UFC. You know what I'm saying? That she's known to have heavy hands, and when she hit these girls, they don't know how to react because these girls never get hit somebody with so much power. It throws the game off.
Yeah.
It's
It's
almost
like
an
that
end of the
Mike
show.
Tyson element.
So, Fred, the end of the show, I really appreciate you. It's glad to have you on my show. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans, your coaches, your gym?
I'd like to say thank you two guys for letting me come on the show. I really appreciated it, man, and had a really good time. I want to say shout out to my sponsors, Cannabis Dispensary here in Tallahassee, Tiki Torch Liquor, Hobo Art and Apparel, and Warren Promotions. Thank you guys for all you do. Jonathan Balgam and Scott Farley, appreciate you guys 100%. And all the guys at the BKFC that are getting the show up run again, Kevin, Nate, Mort, Ricky, all those guys that are helping Dave out. I just want you to know that you guys are appreciated, and you make it go behind the scenes. As a fighter, you get to see a lot of what goes on behind the scenes, and you guys are the heartbeat. So thank you guys, and can't wait to be in the next one.
You're welcome. So, all your fans out there, hopefully you watch the live show on rerun because all the comments that I'm getting from your fans, yeah, I can't say it on the show, so you'll have to read them yourself.
Oh, the X-rated.
No, hell no.
All right. Thanks for being on the full broadcast. I'll be watching your next fight. You keep grinding, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Have me back anytime. You guys take care.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, bro.
Take care.
Brett Pierce out.
Take
Have a
care.
good one, sir. All right.
That was awesome.
Oh, wow. I know. He has a lot of fans, including Sheena Starr. She's trying to get on this show.
Yeah, I saw that.
I guess she's having a little issue right now. She said she got it, but my show's over the time. But hopefully, I get her on some other time.
Next time, yeah. Be on next time.
So, what do you think about these two fighters, Fred and?
They're gonna bring it, man. They'll bring it. They look like they're ready. They're ready. They want it. They're training. So yeah, it should be a good one. Hopefully, we'll see them in the future, man. Hopefully, everything goes well.
Yeah, I know Fred has been. He was having bad singles, so you couldn't really hear him, or he was going in and out a lot. So hopefully, next time I'll get him on the show where it's more clear for him. So
sure.
So. Two left foot Fred. Is that going to be his new nickname?
No, I would not want that. You know what I'm saying? I would not want that. But that was an awesome story, But it happens, like he said, Yeah, I mean, both of his boxing shoes look the same, so he made a mistake. But man, I mean, I'll be like, you can't fight barefooted. Listen, there's fighting. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. What do you mean I can't fight barefooted? It is what it is, But thank God somebody helped him,
I was sitting there like my son does that. He puts his left shoe on the right foot.
Yeah.
Are you kind of like crosswise, So
yeah.
Fred seems a really good guy. I can't wait to see him. Look forward to see him fight. He's got talent, and I know he's ready to get in there and get his first win and show everybody what he's made of. So
I love it, man. I love these guys, man. They got a good head on their shoulder. You could tell they've been doing this for a while. They're very gentlemen in the sport. And that's what we need. That's what we need. That's how bare knuckle fighting championship is going to grow. We don't. You know what I'm saying? We have these guys that got good mentality, good character. They're good for the sport. They're good for the fan. They're willing to go there and give the fan a show. That's exactly how bare knuckle fighting championship is going to grow. We don't got guys. Because, coming from MMA, coming from boxing or kickboxing, and going there and fighting with no gloves is a whole different animal, you know. And a lot of these guys, yeah, they might be ready to fight and get in there, but not necessarily that means they're gonna give the fan a show, you know, because you know,
Right.
like I've seen a lot of the fights, they get in there and now they're playing the defense mode. You know, they're most defense, they're running, they only hit it once and backing off, and that alone makes the fight boring. Nobody wants to see that, you know. So, but you got these guys that willing to duke it out and give the fan a show, and that's how you know it's gonna grow and get better because you know that's what the fan
Right.
wants. The fans want action, whether it's bare knuckle boxing, kickboxing, MMA. The fans want to see a show. The fans don't want to see people running around and playing defense. It makes a boring fight.
Right. So, guess who I got a text from that might be coming on my show Tuesday?
What's going on?
That.
That?
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm talking to him right now. I'm trying to get him on Tuesday. He's
Awesome, awesome,
so
awesome.
we're gonna see what he's gonna say about Johnny, so we get that.
Yeah. We just heard him. We just heard him from Fred a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So now we're gonna hear more from him. You know.
Right. So as we were talking about Rick and Fred, these two competitors here, I believe they're real good friends with each other. I wonder what it's like with them two in the bare knuckle fighting. You know, like behind the curtains, how they train if they train together. I mean, they seem like they're really good. I'm not sure what weight class they're in, but if they're in the same weight class, could you ever see like them two fighting each other? Would that be really hard for them two to get in that ring together?
No. Listen, you know, I mean, you know, growing up and training and fighting, I had a lot of my cousins who are, you know, black belts in Taekwondo and fighting themselves. I got Rafael Dragon Lopez was a karate champion. So, sambo practitioner, kickboxing practitioner. I got David Rivera, and he's a heavyweight, you know, 6 feet tall, 230. David Rivera was another cousin who was kickboxing, karate, jiu-jitsu champion, training under Hansel Gracie. Uh, 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 my cousin Ray DJSL, what a lot of people don't know, he's also a first degree black belt on the Taekwondo, karate champion. You know, served 4 years in the military in the Navy. You know, what I'm saying these guys. You know, when I was competing, they will also help me compete too. And let me tell you something. Not because they were my cousin, they'll take it easy on me. Nope. You know, they will kick the living days out of me because they knew that's how I won't get ready for a fight. So whether they're family or not, we will go at it. I mean, you know, I have a loose. I have a missing tooth on my left side from my cousin from
Right.
kicking me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how hard we will go. That's how hard we will go. You know. So at the end of the day, you know, we athletes. It's not about taking it personal, whether we best friends or we friends. Listen, we athletes. We go in there, do our business, and afterwards we just laugh about it and have a drink. You know, it's nothing take personal. And just like my cousin used to just like to beat them or they will beat me and get ready for a fight. At the end of the day, that's what you got to do because, you know, taking it easy, it actually will do more harm than good. You know what I'm saying? Because that guy across the ring, he's going to take it easy on you. He's going to bring it. So
Right.
whether you're training with a family member or sparring with a family member or friend, listen, we athletes, we professional. There's nothing, you know, personal to take, you know?
Yeah. Well said, man. Well said. So I was just about not. They're not in the same weight class, so that's good. So so you guys heard it from Rick Caruso, and you know who? The two left shoe Fred Pierce. You heard it from them too. You heard how they like fighting in the bare knuckle, all the support, the families are with them, how they're training, they're ready, get in that ring and fight until they say knuckle up. Thank you for you guys being on my show. Thank my co-host being here, Anthony the Tiger Cruz. Remember, Thursday and next week we're gonna have the best show that we've had in a long time. We got some great fighters coming on here. Thank you for watching the full broadcast, 24/7 Sports News. I'd like to thank my sponsors, JB Handy Pro LLC, D&D Baits. Remember, the password is fish baits. And Quit Bitching Collision. If you go to their website, www.quitbitching.com, you get 15% off when you enter my name, Fuller, Fuller. So thank you for watching the Fuller Broadcast 24/7 Sports News, live interviews, mania coverage, and MMA boxing, IKF kickboxing, you name it. I'm here. I'll get you on my show. Have a good night. Thank you for watching.
Peace.